first of all, I want to tell you a little bit about what is Compete Caribbean. So Compete Caribbean is a technical assistance program that is focused on private sector development and is funded by 4 partners. First, the Inter-American Development Bank, the United Kingdom's Foreign and Commonwealth Development Office, the Caribbean Development Bank, and the Government of Canada. Compete Caribbean is currently in its phase 2. Phase 2 started in 2017, but we've been in the region since 2011. And in the first phase of our program, where we deployed projects worth $32.5 million, and that was completed in 2017, contributed to creating 12,000 jobs in the region, 41% increase in revenues of participating firms. We ended up affecting the competitiveness of more than 500 firms in the region. And we also saw 23% in exports of those firms. Phase 2 of this program, which started in 2017, actually phase 2 is now 27.5 million. That's a little typo in the presentation. We have the same goals as Compete 1. We're focused on job creation, export generation, and revenue generation of the private sector, right? But we also have a focus on women-owned firms, climate change, and environmental sustainability. And that's where this Blue Economy call falls into. At Compete, we have 2 pillars, kind of like 2 big areas of work where we focus on. One pillar, which is called productivity and innovation in the private sector. And here in this presentation, I will be joined by my colleague, Annie Bertrand, who leads this pillar. This pillar leads projects where we work directly with the private sector to impact the competitiveness through innovation, okay? And the second pillar is called the Business, Climate, and Innovation Reform pillar, where our counterparts are governments in the region. And what we focus that pillar on is how to enhance the business climate, how to make it easier for businesses in the region to actually do business in the Caribbean. But back to the first pillar, because that's where this call is under, right? This call is under a very big push that we have in this pillar to support entrepreneurs and innovators in the Caribbean region, because that is where we see the new sources of growth, particularly in the Blue Economy. As you know, the Caribbean's marine space is many times larger than its land space, and across the world, the ocean is considered as the last frontier for mankind, right? With numerous economic opportunities that can take place in the ocean space. And what we want to do through this call and this initiative is to stimulate innovation from the private sector that can take advantage of these opportunities while stimulating the preservation of our ocean resources, which is very, very important, right? So how do we define the Blue Economy? Economic activity that directly or indirectly uses ocean or river resources. We're including rivers and kind of like everything related to water, okay, as an input, and that contributes or does not negatively affect the health and sustainability of ocean and river ecosystems. So the Blue Economy, in the Blue Economy, there are both mature industries, many of them in the Caribbean, like fisheries, coastal tourism, oil and gas, shipping, but there are also new industries that could be interesting for the Caribbean, like mariculture, aquaculture. Some of these have already taken place or are taking place in a more limited manner. Maritime monitoring and surveillance, ports, renewable energy of offshore winds, and so on. And then there are emerging industries that are tied to new technology in this space. Like, for example, marine products, pharmaceuticals, deep sea mining, coastal infrastructure, natural infrastructure, etc. Please, next slide. So in the end, you know, the Blue Economy for us is related to the ocean and water resources. Very importantly for us, it has to be an inclusive concept that improves the lives of people in the Caribbean and that promotes sustainability. Now, I would like to introduce my colleague, Dr. Rahana Juman from the Institute of Marine Affairs, which is an institute based in Trinidad. She will talk a little bit more about it, but that has a regional mandate. And Dr. Juman herself is a marine scientist with a PhD in zoology from UWI and a Bachelor of Law from the University of London. And she has been conducting research in the Caribbean on coastal and the marine environment for almost 25 years. She and many other scientists and researchers like her are employed at the Institute of Marine Affairs, and due to the strong competency of this institute in research and development, which is very important for innovation and entrepreneurship, we have partnered with them in this call. Over to you, Dr. Juman.